Hey, I'm Ciscoe Morris. Wait, I'm Ciscoe Morris. You are good looking, though. Hey, here's what's coming up on Gardening with Ciscoe. Hey, who are you anyway?
Veggies to plant in early spring.
It is about time. Oh, man.
And invite wildlife into your landscape. Hendrikus shows us how. I'm in the kitchen turning rhubarb into something delicious. And our plant pick is a real creeper. All this and more coming up on Gardening with Ciscoe.
Hi, I'm Ciscoe Morris.
And I'm Meeghan Black. Welcome to Gardening with Ciscoe. We are in Sumner today at Windmill Gardens. I love it down here.
Oh, so do I. You know, this destination nursery is owned by the Digoni family. They're the same guys that grow all those tulips in the Skagit Valley.
Well, that must explain the big old windmill there. Windmill Gardens. They have one up in Mount Vernon at their nursery there as well.
Oh, cool. How about that? Hey, before we start looking around the nursery, we got to talk veggies.
Okay, it's that time of year.
It is. Time to put in a lot of the cool season ones. We'll show you which ones are the best.
So Ciscoe, being the right here, right now, I want it when I want it kind of guy, is going to plant starters because early spring, it's cold. You can plant lettuce during the winter, so now is great.
It's perfect time for lettuce and spinach. You want to get them in pretty early because if you wait too long and it warms up, they tend to bolt. And by the way, there are slow bolt lettuces now that don't tend to bolt in warm weather, so you can keep planting all season long.
Nice. So what do we need to do here?
We got to get some bone meal and fertilizer in here.
How much of an area are we doing?
Okay, we're going to probably do a 5-foot area. So we want, in a 5-foot area, about a cup of bone meal. You know, and if we overdo it a little, so what?
Okay, here we go.
All right, let's do the spinach first.
Okay.
And we only want them a 1/4 inch deep in the soil.
Oh, okay.
And then we firm the soil down on top of them.
Do a little row.
Yep. And you can put them in there, you know, a cup every 2 inches or something.
Okay.
Eventually, we want the rows 12 inches apart, and we want each plant 12 inches apart. So when they're 4 inches tall, we're going to start thinning them out then.
And all that is written on the packages generally?
You got to read the package. That's what really counts. A lot of times people plant them too deep, and if you do that, you're out of luck. So we'll start lettuce here.
Okay, look at this. So they're big enough.
Yeah, these aren't like those darn carrots.
I know.
Oh, geez, those are terrible.
So every couple of inches, put them down.
Yeah. These are a little harder to do, I'm noticing. But but that doesn't matter. There we go. So these are there now.
And then just
do one more row.
Really.
And you know what I like about lettuce? Even if I grow something taller in front of it, Meeghan.
Yeah.
And you can go ahead and firm those down. Even if I grow something taller in front of it, they can take quite a bit of shade. So if you're a gardener that doesn't have a lot of sun, you can grow a lot of greens.
Okay.
All right, here, let's start with the spinach first. We got the bone meal, everything's in there. Okay. So about every 12 inches.
I see.
And boy, you know, the only thing I don't like about spinach, I hate when that big can of spinach pops up in my muscles. It's just so embarrassing.
You and Popeye, yes.
I'm going to have enough spinach to feed the whole army. I figure I'm going to pick the best ones and use those, you know, so.
Cute. Okay, so then we'll just keep doing that with the different colors.
Yeah.
I love this stuff.
I love all the different colors.
I do too.
And you know, almost no pests attack these, so you don't have to cover them to protect them against insects. But, Meeghan,
yes,
if it gets really cold out at night,
row crop, is that?
Just put this over it.
Crop cover.
That, and we'd put a few rocks.
And cover it down.
And what this will do now is it'll just provide about 4 degrees extra warmth.
Nice.
And that's enough to get them through the coldest night.
And how long till we're eating these puppies?
Oh, I bet you know what? I'll bet you in 2 weeks. At the most, we'll be starting to eat, just pulling off some of the leaves and eating them. Yeah, I like them fresh.
All I gotta say to that
is
it's about time.
It is about time. Oh man, I'm happy spring is here.
So if you're Johnny on the spot with the seeds, you can always grab some starts. They have these beautiful ones here at Windmill Gardens. An artichoke.
Oh, an artichoke.
I'm got that one.
And it's the time to plant that peas, lettuce, you know. But I like to warn people, don't just take them and stick them in the garden.
Okay.
They've had the living tweedle pampered out of them
in the
nursery.
greenhouse.
They're not tough enough to go out, so leave them out a little longer every day, then they'll do great.
So toughen them up.
Toughen them up.
Welcome back to Gardening with Ciscoe from Windmill Gardens here in Sumner. So Ciscoe, what is the most unusual animal you have ever seen in your garden?
I remember waking up at midnight, seeing my wife and her skivvies trying to chase a possum out of the vegetable garden.
I thought you were going to tell me it was your wife and her skivvies. Well, if you want something more than just good-looking plants, Hendrikus has some really good ideas for attracting wildlife. First thing he says, put on your hiking boots.
You should see this old growth stump here. That's a beauty.
A walk in the woods for Hendrikus looks a lot like a walk through one of his landscapes. That's because he builds wildlife habitat into them.
What we've done a lot in our gardens is taking some of what nature has done and then putting it in the garden. So we have a snag that is hollow, that has some space in it for critters to enter into, to live. You have webs immediately going up that catch other little critters. So there's a whole little biosphere going on immediately, right?
He takes his creative cue from what forests do naturally.
The reason we're in the woods and showing this is how nature works all of this stuff. See, we just had a big storm. We have a ton of trees laying down. They're not all going to be chopped up. They're basically going to rot, and they become nursing logs and food for the other trees and plants that are going to grow.
A lot of people remove dead trees. Hendrikus says, leave them, and they'll become the ultimate birdhouse.
No, the whole thing is about habitat, which is actually really, really good. If you, for instance, look up this tree here. It's all woodpecker holes. This is an old stump. So the old stump becomes a home for the woodpecker.
Then there are features you can add yourself. Dish-shaped stones make puddles and attract birds. Downed logs double as stairways. Hollows hide spiders.
The spiders, people are afraid of spiders, but they do a lot of good work. They eat insects that you don't want.
Even stonescapes can be shelter.
Like I have overhanging rocks. Immediately you have an overhanging rock, something is going to be living there. It's just the way it is. You know, you build it, they will come.
Letting leaves lay where they fall also builds habitat for more plants.
And it teaches you a lot, you know. If you look at any close-up, you know, here, and you dig down, I mean, look at this stuff. Look what we have. This is all humans. This is just an enormous amount of food being broken down. And you smell this stuff. It is just so delicious. And this is worth its weight in gold, this stuff.
So go to your favorite wild place, take a long walk and a good look around you. You might just get some tips that you can take back to your garden.
So it's that balance, and you can start with that yourself by not over manicuring. You know, don't chop everything in little balls. Don't rake up every little leaf that falls on the ground. And that's the whole cycle. I mean, and it keeps on going. And nature knows exactly what to do, has done so for billions of years until we came along and started to try to control it and made matters a lot worse. Amazing amount of stuff, isn't it?
Welcome back to Gardening with Ciscoe from Windmill Gardens in Sumner. Did you know that Sumner has been growing rhubarb since the 1880s?
It's old here.
They claim that they are the rhubarb capital of the whole world.
Now, wait a second. I think I know what's going on here. This is your way of sweet talking me into the fact that you cooked up some rhubarb with Lynne.
Was it good? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hey, but I didn't cook a pie. I cooked a torte. It was even better than that. Oh. Oh la la! All right, Lynn. I can tell we are about to make a rhubarb pie.
We are, sort of. We're going to make a rhubarb tort, actually.
A tort?
Yes. Yeah, and this is a praline tort, so it's got some kind of cool little ingredients in it. So shall we get started?
I'm
so
ready.
The way this begins is we're going to make a puree of the rhubarb. So whenever you puree rhubarb, what you want to do is you want to cut it in very thin slices across the grain. So that way, when we cook it down, it's going to not have not be super stringy. You know how rhubarb is if you cut it in. So we need about. Go ahead.
You
sorry.
are a human Gatling gun. You know that? My gosh.
Practice, practice, practice. So about a cup of rhubarb is all we're going to need for this tort. And what we're going to do then, a couple of tablespoons of sugar, throw that in a pan. We're going to cook it down, puree it, and then we're going to come up with this gorgeous thing. Which if you look, you look good enough to eat. You match the, completely match the rhubarb.
Totally on purpose.
Okay, so let's mix our ingredients together. So why don't you go ahead? We've got some whipped eggs there.
Okay, whipped eggs coming up here.
So what we're making is almost the same base as like a chess tart or like a pecan pie, almost sort of a custard base. Yeah. So some unbleached sugar there.
The whole shebang.
Go for a little butter in there.
Okay.
And then these are finely chopped hazelnuts.
Ooh,
and that's going to give it that sort of praline texture on top. Yeah, it's very fun. And then our gorgeous rhubarb puree.
Oh man, I just want to eat that right now,
isn't
but
it
I'd be
beautiful?
puckering, wouldn't I?
Yeah, you would be. But see, look how beautiful that makes that batter.
Yeah.
And then just a little bit of lemon juice to offset, that sugar that we added there.
Oh yeah,
Little
that's lemon
citrusy
juice. All
flavor.
right.
Yep,
Okay,
exactly.
Here we go.
And see, that's just so simple. That's all it takes. And now we're just going to pour this into a pre-made pie crust.
Oh, so now did you make this?
I made this from scratch. And there's in the recipe that we're going to put on the website, I give you a couple of different options. So you got some options. Or you can just buy, an organic pie crust and just roll it out a little bit further and press it in there.
If you're a wimp.
And you're not a wimp. We
No
know
way.
that. No way. Okay. And so then what we're going to do is just pour this into here. And this is a 10-inch tart pan. So if you're if you only have a 9-inch tart pan, then what you're going to do is either, if hopefully it's a little bit deeper, or just use a little bit less filling, because this recipe makes exactly the right amount to go into a 10-inch
So you don't want
tart pan.
that full right to the brim?
No,
there.
because it's going to puff up quite a bit from all those eggs and everything in it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so all we have to do is throw this in the oven.
How long we got to cook this?
About 50 minutes.
50 minutes? Oh, man. Okay. Waiting for the rhubarb tort. Oh, la, 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 la. Finally, holy cats.
I know. For 50 minutes to cook and 30 minutes to cool. Sorry, dude.
I didn't think I was going to survive the whole time. Oh, my gosh.
So I just wanted, before I
look
cut
at
this, I
this.
just want to show you this beautiful crispy brulee. It's almost like creme brulee meets rhubarb.
yeah,
Is it-
it
and,
is
and then it's kind of
crispy.
toffee inside. It's so good. Okay, so take that out of the shell, and then I'll cut you a little sliver.
yeah.
Oh, you know what? Before we cut this, I just want to show you what I like to do.
Yeah.
I just take some little strawberries and just cut them in half like this, and then just kind of fan them around on top like that. And then you can put a little powdered sugar on there if you like, or a few little tulip petals or whatever you want. Okay, so shall I cut you a little slicer? Okay, yeah. Silly question, I know.
Finally. Oh, my God.
So this is really rich. So we'll start with a small wedge, and then if you want more, you can certainly have more.
I wonder if I want
Yeah,
more.
right.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
And then got some beautiful strawberries there.
yeah.
Finally spring is here, right? And I'm just going
Yeah.
to lend you that spoon and let you have a little
Okay.
taste.
Oh, baby.
Just get a little bit of that yummy
Jump on there,
custard
guy.
there. Yep. So see, creamy and
Oh, my God. That's so good. That is tortuously delicious. Oh, la, la. That means really good, too.
apparently.
Oh, So I just looked up on Sumner's website. Do you know what rhubarb means?
I have no idea.
It means barbarian of the Volga River.
Holy cats, I'm not wising off to anybody over here, I'll tell you that. Hey, it's so easy to grow rhubarb. All it needs is rich, moist soil and full sun. Some people grow it right out of the side of their compost pile.
How about that? And a scoop of ice cream when you're done.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to Gardening with Ciscoe from Windmill Gardens Nursery in Sumner. And oh, Meeghan, I'm so excited. It's time for this week's plant pick.
What do we got?
We've got a plant, an evergreen, that'll do absolutely anything you tell it to do.
Well, it's designed to creep along the ground. In fact, it's called golden carpet juniper. But this guy, of course, has to be different. So he trained his to climb, not creep, and it does involve pantyhose. So golden carpet juniper, which is a ground cover.
It's a ground cover. It grows 6 to 8 inches tall.
Oh.
Just goes along the ground.
Oh, kind of like a little vine thing.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I didn't want to do that because I got this cool rock.
Yes, you do.
Look at the lichen on that and everything. Oh, la la.
Okay.
So I put this rock in and I want this to wind around this rock. So when you have something that's really flexible, how you stake it is how it'll grow, and eventually it'll grow up like a tree
And so
then
it'll
wind
twist
back
around.
down. Yeah.
Okay.
I can stake this to do anything I want.
So my guess is we got to get this puppy out of the container.
You know that's always the big challenge, isn't it, Meeghan?
Yes.
All right, let's see how this goes today. There we go. Yoo-hoo!
Yay.
All right, hey, it's got
You know
good
what?
roots.
It's not too bad.
Not bad at all. I'll just do a little slicing on those. It's mainly these bottom ones I'm worried about. Oh yeah, this is great.
So I'm thinking we want this facing toward the rock, right?
Kind of around. I want it to twist around.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
all
let's...
right. A little like this. Ooh, look at that,
Interesting.
Meeghan.
Okay.
Is that cool?
So pull in the dirt?
Yeah, I think we're ready now to just go ahead and plant her. And, you know, I've got good draining soil here, and that's an absolute necessity if you plant a juniper.
Okay.
You do not want a juniper to...
So I guess I'm taking the stake out, right?
Yeah, let's take it out, because the reason is because, and we'll see how much it stands up now from being staked already. All right, here, let me cut that.
Okay.
There we go. And still want to cut the stem. Would that be a bummer?
Don't want to cut my finger either, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here you want to cut. All right, coming off.
Yeah, these are the ones you cut.
Okay, good.
Okay, cool. So look at that.
Hey, look, it's already standing up.
Oh, look at him. Hello.
But just for the heck of it, I think we want to, if there's a nice stake behind you,
Okay.
Meeghan.
This guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, we can stick that in.
Oh, the pantyhose.
Yeah, we got out my apple making traps from last year, you know. But you know what's nice about them? If you tie them loose, they stretch a little so you don't strangle it.
Okay, so where do we want this, baby?
Way down in there like that. And now the nice thing is, Meeghan, we can make it higher, smaller. We got our choice. We can do whatever we want.
And so you're going to tie the pantyhose.
Yeah, so I like it just like it is right here. We could tie one around there.
So let's
I got to get the gloves off to do
look
this.
at this. Yeah, they can be stretchy.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I was a little skeptical, but I think he's going to turn out just nice.
Yeah, I think I might even just keep staking it up a little higher and higher so that it really makes an interesting shape. You know, I got a lot of options here.
Give him a drink of water and this baby's set to go.
This baby is set to go. Wow.
Nothing like being a little creative during springtime.
Golden carpet juniper, growing like a little tree.
Loving it.
Okay, Meeghan, I went shopping around here at Windmill Gardens, and this is not the golden, this is the blue carpet juniper.
I kind of like it even better. Thank you for thinking of me.
That was the last one on this shelf, but they're getting more, and golden too.
I kind of have a bone to pick with you because I think you've been stepping out on me. You've been hanging out with somebody else. Watch this. Look, what do you have to say for yourself?
All I can say is that's one good-looking guy right there.
I was kind of liking this one here, the Easter Bunny. Can you believe it? They've had this here at Windmill Gardens for years.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. You've been playing down here with the Easter Bunny. Hey, thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you want any information about anything you saw on our show, head off to king5.com and click on Gardening with Cisco.
Now head to the nursery. You never know if you'll see a picture of a really. Hey, Meeghan, you behave yourself. Good-looking guy. Thanks, everybody.
See you later.
I mean it.
Look at this. You're shorter than that.